Hey everybody, welcome to week 3 of the Heels Picks from brought to you by KFR Sportscast. So let's dive into it. So we start the week with what might be run-of-the-mill Thursday night sleeper, and not as if it could be a sleeper as it could be a good game, as in it'll probably put you to sleep. You got the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. Now, this isn't saying that they don't play good football from time to time. I mean, New England has surprised. They could easily be 2-0 right now, and the Jets, they got a win on the Titans, and they have big expectations this year. I really believe they missed the boat when Rodgers went down last year. I think that was their shot, and it ended in 4 plays. And you can just see now that he's 40, he's like wearing down. It's just I don't know, but he might get on a hot streak. These old quarterbacks, some of them, that arm never dies. This matchup's actually pretty even in my opinion. New England has surprised a lot of people with how they played so far. But again, Jacoby Brissett isn't the long-term answer. You got to wonder to yourself, when do they turn the reins over? But for now, as long as they're playing good football, they're going to stick with it. And I think the Jets are better, and I think this is one of those games to kind of get for the Jets to kind of course correct after that disaster of a week 1 and get themselves above 500. I'm going to take the Jets here. Jets will win this game by 6. That Packers defense really showed up last week, didn't it? Our friend Matthew Lewandowski said that if Malik Willis want to start for the Green Bay Packers, he'd buy a jersey, and I'm going to hold that man to it. If I have to buy it for him for Christmas, I'll do it. I'm going to hold this man to it. I'm going to see that man in a Malik Willis Green Bay Packers jersey. But he actually looked like a quarterback probably for the first time in his career. And for the narrative here, this is his revenge game. He's going back to Tennessee. And, the Titans just, they're about as bad as I thought they might be. They don't impress me. Will Levis, is he going to take a step this year? I don't know. And if he doesn't, how much more time do you give him? Malik Willis gets his revenge. Give me the Packers by 3. Giants and the Browns. The Giants, it's sad to be a Giants fan. It must. They had even had a kicker last week. They might have won that game. And, Malik Neighbors knew he was playing against me in fantasy, so of course he was like, today's the day. This is my breakout game. It's time to go. But alas, still didn't win the game. On the other hand, I think the Browns are I think they're a good team. But then again, Deshaun Watson you can tell he's not who he used to be. Although, you get the defense is playing pretty solid. Their run game's kind of, I feel the run game's going to be a lot better when Nick Chubb gets back. Hopefully he's the same guy when he gets back. But for now, the Browns are like that much better, I think. At this point in time, with how bad Watson's played from time to time, I think they're just that much better. And I'm not going to pick the Giants to win a game until they show me they can win a football game. Give me the Browns by 3. Bears and the Colts. Listen, the criticism on Caleb Williams is fair. A lot of people thought, oh, they're going to the Super Bowl. They're going to win their division. Even the best, it took Josh Allen 13 games to figure it out. It took Peyton Manning a season to figure out. Not saying he's going to be as good as them, but even the greatest took time to get it together. He looks like a rookie. That's to be expected. Give him time. Give him time. He might show you something. In the meantime, I think the Colts get that win they've been searching for. They've just come close. They looked really nasty against the Packers, though. And is that because the Packers' defense is finally improved? Or is that a concerning side on the Indianapolis Colts? I don't know. But I think at this moment, the Colts are a better football team, and I'm going to take them by 6. Houston and Minnesota. Here comes a Stephon Diggs revenge game. Chapter 18. I don't know. Are the Vikings good? They might be. Maybe Sam Darnold just needed some weapons. Maybe the Carolina Panthers are bad at judging talent. Maybe the New York Jets are bad at judging talent, and I don't think those statements are incorrect. Same with the Cleveland Browns. The Panthers at one point had Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. It was insane that Minnesota won that game last week, and maybe we've all been sleeping on them. Alas, Houston Texans, they're a pretty good football team too over there. It's C.J. Stroud doing his thing, feeding all his targets, but he You better look out when he's up 20 and he hasn't thrown Diggs his sixth pass. He might blow up on him. Give me upset special. Give me the Minnesota Vikings by 1 point because they're running on this energy right now. When they run off of it, maybe that's when the decline starts for them. But give me Minnesota here. Eagles and Saints. Well, the Saints, that's another team that's surprising everybody with how good they're playing. They embarrassed Dallas. Alvin Kamara embarrassed Dallas. It's fun to watch. Unfortunately, in fantasy, 44 points doesn't win you a game sometimes when the rest of your team doesn't do its job. Anyways, I digress. The Eagles, that was a pretty embarrassing way to lose the game on Monday. I don't think the Eagles are that great of a team. I don't know. Just me. I think they're an above-average team. I think Jalen Hurts is an above-average quarterback. They're a team that's gonna finish like 10-7, and New Orleans is riding hot, and I probably would have said that was New Orleans' ceiling at the start of the year, was maybe 10 wins. But man, they've been playing some really sick football lately. I believe they changed coordinators. Because I've been baffled as a person who's liked the Saints. I've liked the Saints since the Drew Brees days. It just baffled, just like what changed that made this team just like the offense is as good as it was 15 years ago under Brees and when they had Reggie Bush and Marquise Colston. Like, what is it? Maybe it's a change of coordinator. Maybe just sometimes listen. As a Bills fan last year dealing with Ken Dorsey, I can tell you, it makes all the difference in the world. Give me the Saints here by 4. Chargers and Steelers. Man, let me tell you something. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be the same football team. I don't know what it's going to be because they've been the same freaking football team for the last 4 years. Ugly, gross, field goal football. They've won 2 games. I think they scored 31 points, and somehow they're 2-0. Disgustingly gross offense. Defense that just bends but doesn't break. And listen. My stepmother and my stepsister, they're both big Steeler fans, and I don't know how they do it. That's just torture. Like, yes, you win, but it's like, how long are the Steelers going to be like this? Like, are they going to have a really bad year where maybe they get a high prospect, or is it just going to be this middle of the pack thing for the next 15 years? I don't know. Listen, Mike Tomlin's a great coach, but at some point you got to wonder, is being above average, are you okay with that for another 15 years? I don't know. Listen, he had his thing. He won a Super Bowl. He's tied a lot of good team. Like, he's, pardon my French, he's made a souffle of shit. Like, he knows what he's doing. Beyond my rant, the Chargers are playing really good football too, and I'm glad to see that. I figured when Harbaugh took over that this team was going to get its act together. I'm impressed that J.K. Dobbins hasn't broken a toe or hurt his knee yet, and it's good to see. It's good to see. Maybe he can run the season and make it all the way through, but that's yet to be seen. I like what I'm seeing. It's more ground control football. I don't think the way the Steelers play football is sustainable for winning, and that is why they will finish 9-8. Give me the Chargers. Broncos and Tampa Bay. Yeah, let me tell you, man. Baker Mayfield's been killing it this year, man. Just give the guy some weapons. Yeah, Denver, they got a long ways to go with Bo Nix. That was kind of an interesting move off for it, but I mean, if you don't got, if it's wide open, why not give the kid a shot? And I get it. He hasn't been very impressive, and he plays like a rookie. You got to give it time. And Tampa, they're just a better football team right now, the way they've been playing. Give me the Buccaneers here by 10. Dolphins and Seahawks. Seahawks are 2-0, and the lack of sleep's been getting to me. They almost weren't. The Dolphins, I think the guy should retire. He should retire just for the benefit of his family and the people that love him. It's if he keeps playing football, to me, listen, everybody's gonna, he's his own man, make his own decisions. Personally, I think it's selfish if he keeps playing football after he keeps just hurting himself out there. And he nosedives into DeMar Hamlin. It's not like it was an incidental bang bang football thing where it happened. Like, no. It is something that could have been so easily preventable. And all this judo classes or whatever the hell he was doing to, like, prevent concussions and all that clearly didn't work. And he forgot how to slide. He thought he was Josh Allen. Anyways, until he comes back, if he does, that team is screwed. Right now it's going to be Skylar Thompson. Maybe it'll be Pro Bowl Ty Huntley somewhere down the line. Till then, Seattle's just a better team. They have their starters. Geno's bouncing back. He's looking like he did about 2 years ago. I mean, last year he played all right, but I think he's starting to turn the gears back. I think this Seahawks team could make a little bit of noise in the NFC this year. Give me the Seahawks by 14. Panthers and the Raiders. The Bryce Young thing. I'm kind of shocked because to me, if you're in a bad situation and you know the whole thing's like, your expectations are like, oh, maybe we'll win 5 games. Just roll with the kid. See what he's got. You're in year 2. You gotta bench him and you got a platform of 18 games, and it's like, don't you want to see a little more, or you've already seen enough? Man, that's kind of a disaster over there, man. That's just a really, really piss poor run organization, and it has been for some time. And I know that fan base can just wallow and think of the prime Cam Newton days when they were going to the Super Bowl. They're just a far cry. It's bad over there, and Andy Dalton's not going to make it better. We all know who Andy Dalton is at this point in his career. The Raiders, I was impressed. I was impressed by what I saw out of them last week. They got some heart. They got some grit. And, Gardner Minshew's always just had this thing where if he on a good day, he's an above-average quarterback, and he can get you where you got to be. He's a great game manager, and I see them winning this game. The Panthers are a joke. Give me the Raiders by 7. Ravens, Cowboys. Dallas. And, you don't even get surprised when you see games like that because Dallas just has this reputation of looking dominant, getting that win, and then when they play a game they should be competitive in, they get mollywopped. It happened when they played Buffalo last year. There's just something about this team that when the lights are on against someone that matters, sometimes they'll show up, and then sometimes they'll lay this egg. I think they play a lot better this week against Baltimore, who's 0-2. Who would have thought that, right? Especially last week. And I just think they're trying to find themselves. I think they're trying to figure out what to do with the offense, what to do with Derrick Henry. It's a lot. 2 teams still trying to figure it out for 2 weeks, which is no surprise there. I think Baltimore is in that desperation. They win this game. Give me the Ravens by 3. Lions, Cardinals. Well, the Lions, going back to doing what they do, win an electric game and then just lose. But it's all right. I see a bounce back with this team. You have your moments. You're gonna lose. This is football. In Arizona, wow. I did not expect them to manhandle the Rams the way they did. I just blinked and I was like, wow, it's already out of hand. They're already destroying them. And that makes me feel a lot better about Buffalo beating them too, because if they're handing out ass whoopings and Buffalo beat them, that win made me feel really great. But I think the Lions are a better team. I'm going to take the Lions in a very close game here. Give me 3 points. Give me the Lions. Niners, Rams. The Rams are in trouble. All right, you're going to depend on Tyler Johnson. You're going to depend on Demarcus Robinson. You're going to who else they got? You're going to depend on the school of guys who weren't that great where they were drafted and have just kind of bumped from team to team to team to team. And you can say to yourself, "Oh, Matt Stafford can make anybody," but it goes to show you the special kind of talent a guy like Puka Nacua, where he came out of his 5th round. And here he is now. He's a star. It's not just Matthew Stafford feeding you. It's what can you do with what he's feeding you? Can you make plays? Do they have that guy right now? I don't know if they do, and that's trouble. That is trouble. And on the other side, San Francisco, I feel to them, losing to the Vikings like that is embarrassing to them. And I think they're going to pile it together and take their frustrations out on the Rams. As long as that offense isn't very healthy for the Rams, I don't see it. Give me the 49ers by 9. Chiefs and the Falcons, there's 3 things in life, and there's death, taxes, and Kansas City's going to get that call, baby. Listen, people can say it was 50-50. They could say to me personally, watching that, it looked like a jump ball. It's just one of those things, okay? From my perspective, being a Bills fan, going up against it, and then seeing it with other teams as well, it's the same ridiculous crap every year. It's like the team is good enough to win on their own merit. Like, Patrick Mahomes is an elite quarterback. He doesn't need all this help, and it's gross, and it's what turns it's what turns a fan off. It's like they're good enough to do it on their own. Why do they need all this help? I digress. Here we are. Numbers are numbers. They're 2-0. Falcons. Let me tell you, that was I was impressed by that drive, that comeback against the Eagles. After what had happened against Pittsburgh, it was like, you gotta collect yourselves. And for most of that game, they hadn't. And then by the end of it, they put that drive together. Saquon drops the ball for the Eagles, and here come the Falcons. And what a drive from Kirk Cousins. I was very impressed. I think this game's going to be a competitive one. And they're in Atlanta. It's going to be a fun game, I think, in my opinion. But give me Kansas City by 6. Jaguars and Bills. Man, this is one of those things that they call it a trap game because Buffalo's riding hot. Jacksonville has looked like shit for about 9 games now. It just man. I try not to jump ahead. The Bills aren't going to lose this game. I have to listen. There's so much PTSD with having a team that sucked for so long. You just expect it to happen. The Jaguars have just not played good football. They just choked that game against Miami, and it just seems to be that stench from last year is just still hanging on them. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know why they paid Trevor Lawrence all that money. Even Jaguars fans don't know why they paid Trevor Lawrence all that money. I just don't think they got what it takes to hang with Buffalo's reinvented offense of give the ball to everybody, run the ball. I think it's since Josh Allen's rookie year, I believe it is I think it's the second fewest amount of pass attempts from him in the span of 2 games or something like that. Like, they're saying no more hero ball. We're going to get everyone involved, and it's been fantastic. There are some glaring signs on the Bills' defense. Karen Johnson's hurt. That sucks. Best nickel corner in the NFL, and they're gonna miss him bad. Terrell Bernard friggin' gets hurt, and he's out for at least a month from what I heard. So you got some rough injuries. There's some things to take advantage of offensively for Jacksonville. But the Bills are a better team right now, and they're playing better football right now, and I'm going to take them here by 6. And then the back end of that doubleheader, you got the Commanders and the Bengals. Bengals are begging for a win, man, and they probably should have won last week. I think they're progressing better, getting out of their slump than they probably have in the last couple years where they have these rough starts. You can just tell that they're starting to click. Maybe it was just a week 1 thing where it's, week 1 is week 1. It's crazy sometimes. On the other side, Washington, I like Jake Daniels a lot. And this offense under him, they're gonna make some magic with this kid. And that team has such a bright future for the first time in a long time. So good for them, man. But I think Cincinnati's desperate, and they're at home, and I don't think they're going to lose this game. Give me the Bengals here by 4. And that's been the Heels Picks, boys and girls. Please bring the support back to the podcast. We've had to reboot the page. Please build the following back up. We're trying to push content out, satisfy y'all. Let's get this baby back in order. Till next time, y'all.